Hi artists, it's Miss Greenhouse with another art lesson for you. 4th of July is coming up. Oh, let's see if I can get that to focus better. 4th of July is coming up and I am so excited to teach you this American flag project. Doesn't that look cool? I'm super pumped. Today we're going to need a piece of white paper. I'm using cardstock. You're going to need a pencil, a ruler, and a red and blue crayon. If you have 2 different shades of blue, that would be great. If you don't, just red and blue is fine. We're going to be talking a lot about value and shading. Remember, value is the lightness or darkness of a color. So lighter areas and darker areas are going to make a big difference in this artwork. All right, let's get started. For step 1, well, really step 1, I'm going to write my name on the back with the pencil. Then I am going to draw with my ruler 2 V's. I don't want my V to come totally to a point, but can you see these lines here and here look like a V? So I'm going to draw one on this half. There's one. And then I'm going to draw another one on this half. So 2 V's. They don't have to be perfect, and you don't want them to come to a point at the bottom. Then, we're done with our ruler. We're going to draw in this section first lines that are kind of like a hill, curving this way. This is going to be the spot that's going to be blue with the white stars. Then I'm going to curve here. That's my first red stripe. Curve here. I want this section to be about as wide as this section. And one more curve here. Okay, so blue, and then red, white, red, white. Then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So this was kind of like a hill or a frown. Now I'm going to do a smile. So I'm going to curve up here, just connecting these together. And this area is going to be striped, so I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to add anything else here yet. I'm going to go here and here. Okay? And I'm just going to keep going. Frown, smile, frown, smile, frown. So here, frown. And then smile. Can't see that one. Go here. Frown. Okay. Now, we know this spot's going to be blue. We'll work on that later. What we need to figure out now is where our red's going to go. And I'm just going to mark my red section. So this is going to be all red. And then this will be white, this will be white, and so this will be red, this will be white, and this will be red. I bet I could put one right there. Okay, now I'm going to start shading with my red. Everything that's close to the straight line is going to be the darkest section. And I'm going to go dark on this side over here as well. Pressing the hardest with my crayon in this section. And then it's going to be a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, until the very center is the lightest red you can do. That's going to add a lot of dimension and make this feel like it's really curving back. So you're going to do that on all of the red sections. So again, darkest here, darkest here, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, and then lightest still down the middle. It does not work. This does not work if you color this whole stripe one solid color. You're just not going to get that same feeling of movement in the stripes or in the flag. So darkest here, darkest here, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. This would also work with colored pencils. Markers are not a good choice for this because you really can't get the shading with markers like you can with crayons or with colored pencils. Okay, I'm going to do this one here. Now this is going to be mostly dark because it's the edge that's closest to that line. And then shade that all the way off the edge. Okay, so that's how that stripe's going to go. And then, of course, all of this would be red, and you would do one section at a time. To add a little bit more dimension to this, I'm going to take, this is a blue-green. I'm going to take this blue-green, and I'm going to shade a little bit of this color. You could use the regular blue as well if that's all you have. Shade a little bit of this just by that original line that we drew at the very beginning with the ruler. That's going to add just a tiny bit more dimension to the wave of this stripe. And then because we can't really shade white, like it wouldn't work to take a white crayon and shade, right? That's not going to work. We're going to use some blue to give some dimension to the white stripe. I'm going to use the blue-green, just because it's a little bit lighter than the regular blue. And I'm going to shade super, super light here at that original line, here at this original line. Just going to shade all these parts very, very lightly with this light blue. And that's going to add a little bit of shading and value and dimension to the white. I could also come and go right on that original V line that we drew with a little bit darker blue. Just lightly go right on that line. So it's really starting to take shape, isn't it? See how that's starting to really change the feel of this? I would do the same here. A little bit here, a little bit here. You do not want to color the entire thing blue. You just want to do a tiny bit because we still want this to have the appearance of a white stripe. The blue is just adding a little bit of shadow. I'm not going to take the time to color all this in. I think you're going to get the point. But let's talk before I'm done with the project about this section. You may be really good at drawing stars, but most kids aren't. So if you are not great at drawing stars, let's put some circles in here. That will give the feeling of the stars and stripes without drawing the stars. Totally acceptable option to just put some circles in there and then go around that with the blue crayon and then color all this in really, really well with the blue crayon. Okay, so the whole idea of this is to be thinking about value, lights and darks, adding shadows in some of these areas with the blue. I cannot wait to see your finished product. Take a picture of it and email it to me at agreenhouse@acs.ac. I hope you're having a great summer. Stay creative, and I'll see you next time. Bye.